Tonight, the Met defends stop and search. It is here to stay. The officer in charge says police have the backing of the black community, but accepts there is an issue with trust. Good evening. Stop and search is a controversial tactic that is once again in the spotlight after a series of cases which have led to complaints. The Met Police has referred itself to the watchdog after the athlete Bianca Williams and her partner were pulled over earlier this month. But today, the officer in charge of stop and search once again defended the policy and its use as violent crime in the capital continues to rise with the easing of lockdown restrictions. Commander Jane Connors acknowledged, though, that trust with the black community remains an issue. She spoke to our political correspondent, Simon Harris. Well, Simon, as lockdown eases, violent crime seems to be going up.
Yes, there has been a spike in violence. Still has a lot of faith in stop and search despite all the rows.
Right, Simon, thank you. Now, after weeks of debate and far behind other nations, face masks are to be mandatory in shop. The Mayor Steve Khan there. In a moment, we'll get the doctor's advice on how to use your face covering safely. But first, Martin Stew has spoken to a professor from UCL on protecting yourself and the environment while wearing a mask. Important, as you say, to use them, to wear them, but it's important to wear them properly. Now, I still travel on the trains and I still see people wearing them, perhaps just covering their mouth and not the nose, and then or under their chin. So we've got to use them properly, haven't we? And washing them. What about just practically, you're in a shop, you come out of a shop, maybe you want to take the mask off or you arrive back home. Do you put it in your pocket, for example? Can you put it in your handbag, or does that contaminate it in a way? I mean, there will be a £100 fine potentially if you're not wearing them when you go into a shop. Do you think, it's really on all of us, isn't it, to do this? We all have to do it together. It has to be a concerted effort for us to all be wearing our masks for it to really have a... And Dr. Ellie has done a tutorial on how to make your own mask. Just head over to ITV London. Next, a 31-year-old man has admitted violently pushing a female officer during a recent protest in central London. Two men have been arrested at Stansted Airport after a note was found in a plane toilet claiming there were explosives on board. Next, it is a place which offers an escape for women of African heritage who have suffered domestic abuse. But Sister Space in Hackney says the building provided by the council is not suitable. Their old premises needed refurbishing, so they moved to a temporary base. Now the work is done, the council wants them to move back, a move the charity says is not safe. Ria Chatterjee's report starts with the account of one woman the charity has helped. She wanted to be anonymous to protect her safety. But first, Wycombe Wanderers went to Wembley last night, the underdogs for promotion into the Championship. It was played behind closed doors, so fans watched behind their own closed doors or maybe behind the sofa as the Chairboys dared to dream. A penalty put them ahead and secured a 2-1 victory against Oxford to promote them to the highest level the club has ever reached. Well, the morning after the night before, Antoine Allen looks back on the big win. Next, any parents out there might just consider my next guest as a bit of a lifesaver during lockdown. Sally is here. Sally, we have been hearing, of course, all about the new rules on wearing face masks in shops. Now, the secret street artist Banksy, Sally, gardening weather for the weekend, I feel, and
this is a challenge, Lucrezia. So I met up with the plants she's not really been able to make flourish. So we have to make it flourish. God help us all. But the plant rescuer, she's a great woman. She's rescued...
Oh, fabulous. And that is it for now. We are back with the latest after ITV News at 10. Coming up, Charlene White with the ITV Evening News. But from me and the rest of the London team, bye-bye.